YouTube, it's Christine with Souls Rising, jumping on to bring through some oracle messages for this first half of the month of April for all of the signs of the zodiac. This message is for my Virgos out there. So if you have a Virgo, sun, moon, or rising, you'll want to stick around for your messages. And as always, if you enjoy this content, be sure to hit the thumbs up and like it, as well as subscribe to my channel so that you can receive more of my content. If you're interested in a personal reading, you'll also find my website linked below, and you will find all the information on how to set up an appointment with me right there. So let's jump into your messages, Virgo. I'm going to start with pulling some oracle cards and see what comes through for this first half of April. Now, we've already started it a little bit, but this will still be good for all of next week and a little into the following week as well. All right, Spirit, what do you have for Virgo? All right, Virgo, so I will show you what we got here for you guys. We have the first card that came out is the Thinking Man. Okay. This could be masculine or feminine energy. I do feel like for you guys, this is you, Virgo, okay? And this card it has also to do with making decisions. So it's like masculine air sign energy. And that has a lot to do with being decisive, making decisions. I also feel like with that card, he's sort of mulling something over, okay? And I am hearing that like there's a decision that needs to be made. And I feel like you guys are in this process right now where you've been mulling it over or trying to decide on a course of action or figure out what is next for you. And then we have Archangel Michael, okay? Root chakra, this is protective energy, angelic protection. And then we have another archangel showing up, 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. And this card is all about having faith, okay? Trusting in a higher power, believing in yourself, believing you can do it, believing that things can turn out well. And then under those, we have the Garden and the Gate showing up, okay? And this card can be about comfort, but it can also represent the comfort zone. And most often when it shows up, it represents the comfort zone. And I'll tell you what, with these readings, this card has shown up in almost every reading I have done for the first half of April. And it really, I believe, is, excuse me, a lot. Sorry about that. I'm like having a coughing fit. So that's interesting. When I have stuff go on with my throat chakra during a reading, it almost always represents throat chakra concerns or issues that are coming up for the person that I'm doing the reading on. So for you guys, that would be you, Virgos. So my Virgos watching this, I was saying this card is my comfort zone card. And it has a lot to do with us maybe being really comfortable and not wanting to venture out and try something new or uncertain, okay? Since my throat chakra is acting up as I was reading this card out to you guys, I suspect for a good chunk of you that this comfort zone has something to do related to your self-expression or how you express yourself. That could be verbally, but it can also just relate to how we show up in the world, you know, the version of us that we put out there to others, okay? Throat chakra, it can also have to do with like speaking truth, okay? So some of you might be needing to make a decision to tell the truth about something or to share some information with somebody, an opinion, or to speak up about something right now. And that might be really weighing on you. And I'll show you the rest of the cards that we have here. And the next card we have is anxiety. Okay, so worry, stress, fear. And then I have patience. And you see this angel holding the clock. And then we have broken heart. Door to value. A great card showing up here. Goddess of the Moon, which really is intuitive energy, sort of listening to our intuition, our inner voice, following that flow, going with the flow. If you look at, I'm really being pulled by spirit to the water, flowing down behind her and around her. This is like allowing your intuition to flow, allowing it to flow through you. And again, you know, I was talking about throat chakra, and there's definitely a lot of blue vibes in this card. So this may have to do with opening up and allowing yourself to express some of the things that you're picking up intuitively or that you know through your own inner knowledge or your own inner voice, sort of sharing those intuitive hits with other people. For some of you, that might not be for everybody, but for some of you, you might be like beginning to become more comfortable doing that, okay? And then we have rest and rejuvenation, and I'm hearing peace with this. Peace and relaxation. And again, look how he's allowing this energy to just move through him. He's not trying to wrestle control over it. He's not fighting it. He's just letting it move through. And again, all those blue vibes, all right? Blue is that throat chakra color, and it's showing up here twice. I don't think that's an accident. So let's dig into this a little bit more. First thing I was getting with this thinking man and Archangel Michael and Archangel Uriel showing up is that right now, I feel like you Virgos are in the midst of making an important decision. You're mulling it over, and you need to know that whatever you decide, that you're safe, that you're being protected. And I really feel like with this, there's a need to trust yourself to make the right choice. And also to trust that when you do make a choice, that you're going to be protected, okay? That spirit is watching over you, and that it's okay to have faith in the process and kind of let things unfold then however they need to once a decision is actually made. So part of this comfort zone card that's showing up here with anxiety, you know, this garden and the gate card, I really feel like you guys are afraid because of a past experience. So it's like something's shown up on the scene, and you have to decide what you want to do with it or about it. And you're mulling it over, but you're really having a lot of fear that is related or connected to a past event. And for some of you, this anxiety may have to do with money. And something that's popping in as I'm talking about this is, so some of you might be having to speak up about something at work or in a work environment, and you might be afraid that by doing so, that you could lose your job, or that speaking up about this might impact your finances or your money in some way. Okay, it may not be job related, but it could be. There's a little fear that whatever this is you have to talk about or speak up about or decide may impact or influence your money or how you make your money. Okay. And there is a piece with that also about valuing yourself. So sometimes we have to choose between, you know, financial success or valuing ourselves. You know, unfortunately, sometimes, you know, we get put in positions where we have to make a choice that is self-honoring, but it might mean that we get impacted financially and not maybe in the way that we want to be, right? So for example, leaving a job where we do well for ourselves and make a lot of money, but leaving it because we don't feel like it's honoring of us anymore, or we feel taken advantage of, for example. And again, that won't apply for everybody, but I do think there's definitely money or issues around worth here for majority of you, since that energy is showing up in your reading. So with this patience card, I really don't think it's that you have to wait or be patient. I really feel like it's referencing more that you are waiting, that you're mulling it over, you're taking your time to sort through your feelings. And I really feel like with this, what you need to also be sorting through is your fear. So you really need to be looking at your fear a little bit more and what your hesitation is really about. Where is that really coming from? Because I really feel like this may pertain to a past failure or a past heartbreak, a situation where maybe you had to make a choice and things didn't go very well as a result of that, or maybe you felt like you got hurt because of it, okay? And then I really feel like, again, with the goddess of the moon and rest and rejuvenation, that it is really important for you to trust in yourself and to listen to that intuitive voice. You know, we have both the goddess of the moon, which is an intuition card in this deck, and Archangel Uriel, which is the card of faith and believing in oneself. It's also an intuition card. And they both have to do with really trusting the universe, really listening to our heart, listening to the inner voice. And you can see with this person on the rest and rejuvenation card, like he's totally at peace then with the decision. Okay. Ultimately, I think this is where you guys are going this first half of April. So right now you're mulling it over, but in the next couple of weeks, I feel like you're going to reach this point where you finally have made your decision and you have total peace with it. And that you're not at odds within yourself about this anymore, okay? But I feel like this is something you're gonna reach through this process of examining your own fear and really looking at where you're being pushed out of your comfort zone a bit, and to maybe explore a little bit of where some of that anxiety or fear might be coming from for you. Starting by looking at some past experiences that maybe weren't so hot. Let's move over to the tarot. Let's dig into this a little bit deeper. All right, Virgo. So I'll show you what we got from the tarot. So I have 2 of Cups showing up, 4 of Coins, 7 of Cups, the Chariot. Right, and I'm immediately with this card drawn to these 2 horses, and you'll see how like one's going one way and the other's going the other way, and I really feel like this is you in the middle of these 2 options or 2 choices, and you're just trying to decide, and you're like, oh my god, like I don't know which way to go, especially showing up after 7 of Cups, which implies confusion. Can be disillusionment, but I feel like really in this reading it's coming through more as just confusion of, oh my god, there's options or choices and I'm not really sure what's best. And then this is the need to decide, Ace of Swords. Needing to decide, needing to cut through what is holding you up here, or what's getting in the way of making the choice. Because it's like everything's all tangled up and this sword is going to come, it's like cutting right through that. But I really feel like this is you needing to do the cutting. Like you're thinking it through and you're the one who's going to cut through this chaos or maybe muddied thinking about the choices. And that's going to help you make a decision. With the 2 of Cups here, so I'm getting like major past vibes again with this. And I'm going to show you this with this 4 of Coins again. So these 2 cards coming out together, I keep being pulled to the fact that that couple there sort of faded. And this feels like past for majority of you to me. Maybe not for everyone, it could be more present. But I really feel like there's this sense of relationship in the past where maybe things did not... It's almost like reminiscing, or this sense of like things not going with this the way that we had hoped that they would go. And I really feel like for a lot of you, this is coloring this decision and is clouding your judgment or making it harder to decide what to do moving forward. Now, I think for a lot of you, this is romance, okay? Especially with that broken heart card showing up, but not for everybody. This could be partnerships, could be like business partnerships, but it can also be family. I'm definitely getting some family vibes here. And I do have the 6 of Cups showing up here as well, which I will show you in a minute. And sometimes 6 of Cups is nostalgia. And I kind of get that vibe with this 2 of Cups card of like something from the past where there was wonder and excitement about how something was going to turn out. But then I just get this sense of it doesn't turn out the way that you thought it would. And so with the 4 of Coins showing up, I feel like there's a desire to control this outcome because you don't want the past to repeat itself. It's like there's fear that something will go the way that it did in the past, and there's a sense of that wasn't good, or that didn't end well, and it's like, I don't want to repeat the cycle. I don't want it to happen again, okay? And that, I feel like, is probably really clouding your judgment and making it hard to move forward or to move on from this situation for majority of you. So the next row, I got 6 of Cups, as I mentioned. 6 of Cups can also have to do with emotional give and take. Can talk about family of origin. And then we have Wheel of Fortune. In some ways, I feel like this is you being in confusion, though, of like, I don't know which way the wind is turning. I don't know which way to go. But ultimately, Wheel of Fortune is a card of like things going well or are in our favor, going in the direction that is actually favorable to us, right? But right after that, I have 8 of Swords, which is like, I'm stuck. I can't make a move. I don't know what to do. I don't feel like I have choices or options that are viable. I don't see the way out, right? Or I don't see the way through this, or at least not one that isn't going to be painful. See how this woman's got all these swords right at her neck? She feels like, oh my gosh, like no matter what I do, I'm going to get stabbed, right? No matter which way I go, it's going to hurt. But for you guys, see, I really feel like this is a shadowy energy. This is, I mean, this girl's even covered in shadow. I don't think this is truth. I think this is fear that is clouding your judgment, okay? And then right after that, I have the Fool, new beginning, taking a leap. And the energy of this card is so different. On the other side of your fear that is keeping you bound or stuck is this new beginning that I feel like you really want, where there's freedom. And remember, I got that same vibe. And look, we got the blue showing up again. I had that same vibe from this card. Rest and rejuvenation, right? This is where you're going. And you're so close, Virgo. You're really right there. But you do need to wrestle with this fear. You need to understand this fear a little bit more. All right. So, under those, I have 5 of Wands. Conflict, inner conflict or outer conflict can be fear that maybe you're afraid that you're going to get into conflict with other people if you speak your truth on a situation, or if you do what you really feel like you're being called to do in a situation. Then I have Justice showing up. Okay, balancing the scales. Oftentimes Justice is things balancing in your favor, especially when Wheel of Fortune is also showing up in your reading. But then right after that I have 9 of Swords. Again, anxiety showing up, right? We had the anxiety card, and this is the tarot version of that. 9 of Swords. Fear, worry, right? Keeping us maybe from making a move. 9 of Wands, which is resistance, also showing up here. It's like, you know you need to choose, you know you need to decide, but you're almost in resistance to making the choice because you feel like there's no good move. So you could be in a situation where it just feels like there's no good options right now. So maybe all the choices that are on the table, none of them really feels great, okay? So it's like, you know, when you have to choose between the lesser of the 2 evils, right? And you don't know which one is ultimately going to have the best outcome, or maybe you feel like they both have a negative outcome, and that's what's causing you to pause and stall on choosing. I really think with this that the fear is because I feel like for a lot of you, this may not be everybody, I feel like for a lot of you, there was an opportunity in the past that looked really good and felt really good. And when it came up, you took it and then you feel like you got burned. Or you're kind of like, maybe if this is you like needing to speak up at work or speak up in a relationship, you've done that in the past and it didn't go well, or you were the one that got burned in the process. And so there's like this hesitancy this time to do that again. And ultimately, you have to make a decision about what to do. I don't really feel like you guys are going to be able to sit on this either. I keep getting this sense intuitively that a move has to be made in order to free you from this, in order to bring you to that place of peace and the new beginning. And with those throat chakra vibes showing up with all that blue in the cards that I showed you before, you know, rest and rejuvenation and the Fool, I really feel like the truth sets you free in this situation. The truth is what sets you free from this and helps bring things into balance and out of this place of conflict, turmoil, whether that is with someone else or within yourself. Sometimes, you know, sometimes we have to make a choice that is hard to make and we know it's going to cause conflict or turmoil, and yet it's still the right choice. You ever have to tell somebody something and you just know it's going to piss them off, and so you avoid doing it because you just don't want to deal with it? You don't want to deal with their reaction, or you're afraid of the reaction you're going to get, but deep inside you just know that's the right thing to do, or it needs to be said. That's the vibe I get with this reading. Let's pull a few more tarot for you guys. I just want to get a little bit more clarity on this. So what does Virgo need to know? What else does Virgo need to know to help them make this decision? I feel like you guys need to face your fear, okay? I'm going to put that out there right away because that's definitely a theme that's popping in. I feel most of you have to face the fear around this choice or making the decision, because there's fear almost about to even make a move here in any direction. I also got something coming through about, okay, 2 things. The devil's in the details, number 1. That's not for everybody. That just kind of popped in randomly. And then I'm also getting something about, with Justice showing up here, and I'll show you in a minute, I also have the devil just popped out. I'm really getting this sense that for some of you, I feel like you have to make a choice or decision about something that is right or just, okay? So like maybe you're calling somebody out on a wrongdoing, you know, like somebody who's committing a crime or doing something that's just not right or unethical. And there's this sense, I feel like in the past that you've had experiences where you felt like the bad guy won, where the person that was doing something wrong got away with it, or there's fear now that this person in this current situation will get away with it. And that's part of why you're hesitant or why you're holding back. It's almost like you're not sure, like, is favor going to fall on my side in this situation? Like, I think I'm in the right and this other person is in the wrong, but like, is it going to be seen that way, right? Is the truth going to really be heard and upheld? And I feel ultimately for you Virgos that it will, okay? But it might take a little time, which is also why patience is here. Not because you're supposed to wait to choose, but that it might take time, for this to play out. I'll show you what I got. First two cards that came out were fantastic. 10 of Cups, ultimate happiness. 10 of Coins, which is financial success and abundance. Okay, which makes me feel like those of you who are worried about money finances, please understand this means it's going to be secure. Okay, but this comes after you choose, along with that sense of peace and relaxation, that sense of, I can breathe. This is a new start, a new beginning. It's not going to go the way it did in the past. I feel like this time things go in your favor, okay? But they might take a little time to level out. And that I get because the Knight of Coins then showed up right underneath those on its side, which is transitional. So the Knight of Coins takes his time. He's a slow moving energy. So this can happen, but maybe not right away. So maybe, you know, the SHIT hits the fan first and then things go the way that they need to. And ultimately I feel like you get justice or you get your just rewards here in the situation. Or maybe it's just that you're finally heard about something, right? And after that, I have the Devil, okay, showing up with the Fountain. I kind of feel like this is breaking through and finally breaking through this shadow energy, or finally feeling like the shadow energy gets destroyed or broken apart, or this time it doesn't get away with it. It's like you're facing it down. This is what you have to face down. Your fear of negativity, or your fear of bad people, or your fear of judgment, condemnation, okay? But you're going to break through that. With the Fountain is like the well of all that is, all that exists, pure potential energy. And what came right after it then, I had Page of Coins and Page of Wands showing up, which is all this new fresh energy, a new start, excitement about the fact that this is a new beginning, that this time things are going to be different. This tells me this time things look different for you. Please don't let anxiety or fear from how things went in the past color your decision this time around. Listen to your heart, listen to your intuition, have trust and faith. Know that you are protected and you're going to be okay, okay? No matter what it is that needs to be said or needs to be done here, I feel like you guys are going to find the answer in your heart, and you just have to trust and have faith that you're going to be okay, that whatever you choose, whatever you need to decide here, that everything's going to pan out, that everything is ultimately going to work in your favor, and that you're going to be all right. And that ultimately the bad guy doesn't always win in the end, you know? We don't always end up getting hurt again. Sometimes it goes different. Sometimes the relationship works out. Sometimes people get caught and they get persecuted for the bad things that they've done, and we aren't penalized for exposing them, right? So know that you have the power to make this choice, but you do need to act soon. You need to make a decision. Stalling isn't going to help with this. What's going to help you if you're really feeling stuck with this is to really look at the past. Because I feel like those of you who are struggling to make this decision, the reason you're struggling is coming from the past. It's fear from your past. And once you explore and understand that fear and what that is about, I feel like you'll be able to move forward with more certainty, more surety, and you will know that this time it's new energy. All right. That's the main message here, is this time the energy is different. This time does not have to be a repeat of the past. So just know that it's okay to do what you need to do with this situation, and then trust God, trust the angels, trust that everything will fall right into place. And then ultimately you come out a winner, you come out on top, you come out this time getting your happiness, getting what you need all the way around. So Virgos, that is your message for the first half of April. And I hope you all take care and happy decision making. Bye.